Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, one and all. This is your host, Spear and Magic Helmet, as always yours. And today we are going to be doing what is probably going to be the second to last episode of Hero of the Kingdom 3. Today we're going to be going through the Azure Valley, discovering this little mini kingdom that is the castle that we're going to be in. And we are going to do good deeds, get to know everybody, and learn how to take out the mighty Earthquaker. So, without further ado, let's pop right in and get going. All right, here we are. First thing I want to do, just for funsies, is loot and pillage. Demonstrate the bad influence that Brahm has had on me. Got the name right that time. And if you are playing along at home, one thing you absolutely do not want to do is, at this point, you will before the game is completely stopped, is talk to this jeweler. The reason for that is right now, over here, you can see that we have those great prices that the jeweler here gave me because he felt bad when Brent died. If we talk to this jeweler, we don't have any connections with him, and he will give us worse prices. So we are going to wait as late as possible to talk to that jeweler, just in case we need to sell something. We are going to talk to the lovely Alice.
Brom, is that you? It's nice that you finally showed up at home. I love you too, sister. Where have you been? And who is this handsome man you came with you? He's my mate. He helped me when I got caught by the Orcs. I see you weren't bored at all, brother.
I met Brahm's sister Alice. I guess she is skilled in thievery too. They must form an infamous pair together. Brahm will stay at home for now. I may visit him anytime. I'm going to talk to her again to unlock her shop.
Hey, handsome. I heard that you're pretty good at lockpicking. I got some goods that might interest you.
She's pretty pretty for her terrible old lady accent. And Alice does sell, well, she does sell pearls. But like I said, we want to earn them because we want to do this game without buying our way completely through. So if you didn't have pearls, you could get them here. All right. And if you look on the ground carefully, we're going to talk to the Skinner in a minute. If you look, If you look down on the ground carefully, you'll see these two scrolls here. We're just going to snap these up for now. Draw some water from the well. Doing it just to show off that as you progress in the game, you can also get more water from the wells, just like consuming food goes up at a higher rate. So 8, I believe, might be the end game. I'll check after the end game and see if it goes up to 10 at any point, but I think 8 might be the most you can get from the well. Does it correspond with my food? No, because my food's up to 90 now. All right, let's talk to Mr. Skinner. The Skinner has lost his entire shipment of furs from the Green Valley. It has been destroyed by the Orcs somewhere in the mountains, so he needs new ones. I didn't bother telling you to save up 20 skins because even if you didn't, it's fairly easy to get them. Plus, if you're following this walkthrough, you'd have tons by now. Like, we have 141 skins. I gave this keeper, the Skinner, spare furs for my inventory. Unfortunately, the times are difficult, so he can't pay me. Although he might make me a decorative item, wink wink, hint hint, for free if I would be interested. And I got a tiny amount of fame as well. So I made good with the Skinner. So now we're going to pop on down here and see this part of the world. Similarly to before, as the veil pulls back, we will not be talking to this inn, because if we talk to this inn, our inn over here disappears and we will get worse prices. So we're not going to touch that inn. And see, by the way, without trying hardly at all, we're at 61 lockpicking, so we're able to even lockpick the hardest chests in the game. So grinding up lockpicking, unless you're trying to grind to 100 for the Master Thief achievement, which of course you can do, is not necessary for like progressing the plot or anything like that. And I'm picking up a couple more scrolls that seem to be laying around here. And I'm just picking the locks at least once a piece so that you can see what's in them as I go around. Some jewelry. Couple bucks. And $80. So the 30 lockpicks generally have either jewelry or about $80. The level 1 chests usually have $45 to $55. And the 60s usually have something a little bit nicer, but it's always just money or treasure. It's never anything that you really, really need. We're also going to grab the shrooms. I don't see anything else hiding around here, so let's keep going with the other stuff. We are going to talk to the cook over here, who needs that 8 flour that we picked up earlier. The siege of the city caused a great shortage of food. The cook at the orphanage needs flour. I've donated the flour to the orphanage. Let them save the gold for other expenses. And we got 3 fame for that. All right, and then we have Citizen right here. The Citizen needs help repairing the railing. Now we're really, I mean, for a major hero, we're getting really menial. But I like the humility that's built into this game. That no task is too small for a hero if they're doing good. So I don't mind that he takes time out of his day to do this at all. It's kind of charming. We put a nice railing up. All done. I've received a well-deserved reward for my hard work. That's really nice. And now we are going to talk to somebody named Chopping of Wood. The only NPC in the game that doesn't even get, like, a proper noun. Boar wounded his hand and needs help chopping wood. I'm going to chop it up for this man with a wounded hand. Get 1 fame and no reward message. We're going to go up and left. And this away, we have the last little bit of the city. And we are going to steal and loot the Chronicler's poor little chest. 110 in that one, not too bad. Missable crate over here should have either a speared, a shield, or 3 lockpicks. At this point, it doesn't especially matter. But we did get a shield. Talk to this guy. Stop! You can't go any further. Guards won't let me go to the king until I'm trusted enough. I am trusted enough, but I'm not going to quite talk to him just yet. Let's talk to the commander. Greetings, stranger. I see you're equipped like a true warrior. The commander is worried about the Orcs camp at the city gate. Ordinary citizens don't stand a chance against battle trolls. If only there was a heroic warrior who would break the siege, ... There is not yet, but I could be that warrior someday. I don't think my combat is quite ready for that scenario yet. I'm at 88, so I'm getting real high, though. We're gonna pop into this chest, get probably 80 gold. $85. That'll help pay for the broken lockpick. And let's talk to Mr. Chronicler. The Chronicler has lost a few important scrolls when he got scared by the undead at the city gate. He needs 5. We already picked up 4. So now we are going to go pick up a couple more quests and come back to the Chronicler with the final... Actually, let's do it now. Let's go right and down. And we are going to meet a character called Boy. Also, notice that this popped up. Morning Woman popped up as a trigger that happened after I completed other missions. This cascading quest thing seems to be something that's mostly restricted to Azure Valley. But it happens a couple times in here, because Boy appears now too, and he wasn't available here either. And in a little while, this girl over here is also going to be available to talk to, and she's not available right now. The boy would very much like to find a dragon's tooth so he could boast in front of his friends. Huh. You know what a dragon's tooth sounds like? An item. Let's see if Skinner feels like making that item for me. The Skinner owes me a favor. That's very convenient. I heard he knows how to make an imitation dragon's tooth out of ordinary wild animal teeth. Indeed he does. He needs 12. I just happen to have 117 animal teeth just chilling in my backpack here. I open up my backpack and it's just absolutely wild at this point. I've got inhumane amounts of things just floating in there. 31 raw fish. I've got 18 full sets of deer antlers in my backpack, along with a cauldron, 6 fishing poles. I've got all sorts of stuff. It must look wild to him to see me rummaging through my backpack for the animal teeth that he needs. 42 nuggets of silver. The Skinner is really skilled. If I didn't know any better, I'd believe it was a real dragon's tooth. So now we're going to scam the little boy with our fake real dragon's tooth. Interestingly enough, Lost Tales 1 has a very large storyline built around a little boy getting a dragon's tooth. It's not the same little boy, so that's kind of interesting. All right, here's your real quote-unquote dragon's tooth boy. I gave the boy the dragon's tooth. In return, he gave me a lost scroll that he found near the orphanage. Hey, thanks, dude. Now, let's bring that back to Le Chronicle. Let's see what he has to say. I managed to find all of the lost scrolls. He gave me a handbook of herbology as a reward. The chronicler wasn't interested in this book at all. What a jerk. He's like, here, I don't want this. Thanks for finding all my scrolls for me. But we will take it. Now we're going to pop on over to the right and talk to this mourning woman and see what she has to say. The mourning woman wants to put flowers on the grave of her mother, Isolde. It's going to be the anniversary of her death soon. The grave is in the catacombs below the cemetery, but it's very dangerous there now. Alright, we're going to pop down into the catacombs. Not so dangerous now that I've done all that killing. Just out of curiosity, how's the crystal supply doing? Not good. I'm going to have to grind up my strength soon. But I will grab just a quick little chunk of... There is the final recipe. Goulash. So there was one more. I will show you the animation for goulash soon. It's actually quite long. I've been cooking just with fish, and I noticed when I looked in my backpack that I have a ton of meat and not so much fish. I will need a little bit of fish for the end quest, so I'm doing this instead. Alright, let's chow down, shall we? I want to do at least 3 of these. 1, 2. Alright, 1 more of these. And I got the achievement for cooking 2,000 food. So I believe there's an achievement for cooking a whole lot more. There's an achievement for cooking 8,000 that we will not be getting in this walkthrough. It's just a matter of cooking over and over again, so there's nothing really to show off. Alright, we will kill this guy. Bye-bye this guy. I got a point of combat, which is the whole reason I did that. Broke a warhammer and a shield, but I still think it's worth it. Oops. The trails in here and out of here are kind of confusing in my opinion. They just don't feel intuitive to me. Let's drop off flowers at Isolde's grave, and of course we're going to drop off fire flowers, the most expensive ones. But we have 8. And there they are, decoratively adorned. And we're going to talk to the Morning Woman again. And without another word, she gives me 1 fame. All right, we need to do some grinding. We have to get our combat up to 91. I'm also going to do a mine run and just run through the world and try to mine crystal. I have 13. I need 24. There will be 4 crystal picked up in an enemy drop that comes up fairly soon. So that is something. So what I really need is 7 crystals, since I will be picking up 4 along the way. But I'm not going to make you watch 45 minutes of me grinding. So I will see you back at this screen once I have things that I need. However, I will keep you, actually, you know what? I will keep you around long enough that will have you watch me kill the devilish ogre that is in the Green Valley, menacing all the way. And while I'm off screen too, I'm going to be working on doing things like collecting mushrooms and getting towards those achievements, because I would like to get them before I finish the game. So let's pop on down here. We can finally kill this ogre. So this ogre eventually will leave this screen and then just sort of stand over here next to this rabbit. And I think it's awful. And one time I did this, I don't know if it's a bug in the game or not, but I killed it as soon as I could, and he never came out. And I thought that was the trick, to kill him early on and he wouldn't come out. But the last time I did a playthrough, I killed him as soon as I could, and he came out eventually anyway. So I don't know what the story is with that devilish ogre, but it seems really awkward and out of place to have him just standing here, this really, really, really tough enemy, so close to all these like otherwise fairly helpless people. Another possibility is that he only appears when the traveling merchant is gone. So during this playthrough, I will be testing that theory out, because that could be the trigger, that when the traveling merchant disappears, the ogre comes out. But for now, we can finally kill this terrible ogre that is just haunting this cave over here. And I didn't even get a point of combat for that, despite destroying my spear. All right, now I really will see you back at Azure Valley Center. I will fade in if I get any achievements or something cool. Otherwise, I will see you there. Two. All right, we got the 100 healing potions achievement. What I'm doing right now is I wanted to pass time. You can pass time in this game to make things respawn any way you want. You can sleep, you can cook food, you can craft. I decided, since it's more interesting to you guys to see a completed menu, that I would do a little crafting off screen to show you the completed menu when it's done. So I got this along the way. I will dip back in when the screen is a little bit more completed. I'm about to get full herbalism, 100 herbalism, and get the achievement for that. Should be the next thing I get after this. It was not. How close am I then? 99. Maybe these berries will put me over the top? I thought I'd get a point for that. There we are. I am now a master herbalist. All right, I'll see you back in just another minute. And there I got the mining skill, Master Miner. I got my mining skill all the way up to 100. Doing pretty good. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, I am in this ogre cave, ogre cave. I have been all the way through Green Valley, Yellow Valley, and I'm almost all the way through Gray Valley. I've killed every enemy I've come across within reason. I skipped a few rats and things. I am hoping that I finally get my last point of combat in here. I've already killed one ogre. I just can't imagine that I wouldn't get at least one point of combat in here. Amazing. Can you believe that? I did get the rest of my crystal, so I don't need any more crystal. This is my stats right now. Alright, I will check in a minute. That's frustrating. There it is, finally. Almost in the Azure Valley before I finally got my last point of combat. That took a long time. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit more grinding, and I will be checking in with you to do the next part in just a second. And we got 120 lost crates and barrels and got the achievement for that. I'll see you back in just a moment. Alright, and we are back. That took about an hour altogether, but I did a lot of additional grinding. I wanted you to be able to see a lot of the achievements that were left, so I brought myself right up to the edge on many of them. That crate and barrel one was actually me accidentally picking up an achievement when I got right to the edge, and I thought I'd show you the achievement gain anyway. If you look at my achievements right now, I've got a bunch of them just on the precipice. A few more mushrooms, I'll get that. A few more eggs, I'll get that. Pearls, I may or may not pick them up. I found a couple in treasure chests. The treasure chest that requires 60 skill, do give them occasionally. The crypt in Yellow Valley, where we rescued the Yellow Valley Mare, that treasure chest has a pearl in it. And the one in this screen that I'm looking at right now in Azure Valley that's 60 also has a pearl on it, the one that my mouse is hovering over right now. So those count towards your quote-unquote find pearls count. So hopefully we'll get the two more just kind of naturally as we go through the rest. We are right on the edge for flowers. We are nowhere near those potions, and I will not be doing that. We will not be doing the food. We are somewhat close to locks. I may have to post-game grind a little tiny bit, but I think I will show you that. And the silver achievement we're right at the edge of too. So along with that and some smithing ones, you should have a good idea of all the achievements that are left in the game. So let's do a little bit more and see what we can do from here. So our goal is to take out the enemy encampment that is showing up on the right hand side of the town, the one that we saw earlier. So what we should probably do is pop on over after I grab this chest to Gray Valley and go left from there, as opposed to going through all the catacombs and whatnot. We'll pick this up. My lockpick breaks and I get 120. And I'll grab this mushroom. And this one might be the achievement. Not quite yet, but I'm awfully close. What if I grab these? There we go. So I found 800 mushrooms and I got the mushroom picker achievement. I'm also going to make sure I have enough lockpicks on hand. Notice my money is on the low end right now. I really did need a lot of that money. And we don't really need mushrooms anymore. Alright, starting from here, we're going to move on left. And we are going to attack that last orc encampment. Here it is. And you needed combat 91 to get into this and do it without interrupting and having to go back and grind. I should, as long as I get a little bit of luck going through these enemies, I should be able to fight my way through this. By the way, I'll throw up the screen just for a second. Killing all of these enemies requires 176 strength, 13 poison, 21 healing potions, 2 shields, a silver sword, and 2 silver spears. Alright, let's continue on. Killing the battle trolls. That last one is pretty tough. It's one of the top 4 enemies, toughest enemies, maybe. An orc general going down. Got 2 crystal from that. Remember, we're going to get 4 crystal total, I believe, from the enemies here. I think he gives me 2 crystal as well. Yep. My weapons are broken. Earthquaker is shaking the ground. He is not happy. And I got better at combat. So I got the achievement for destroying all 2 orc camps and clearing up the Gray Valley and the Yellow Valley of threats. And from here on, once I go back and report this, the castle doors will be open and I will be able to go through this door if I would like to. Would have been a nice little touch if they'd had the guards say something like cheering me on or something after I killed the last one, but they do not. Also would have been a nice touch if I could have just walked straight through these doors now instead of like fast traveling over. But let's go talk to the captain, or the commander I should say. And see what he has to say. Pick up this crate on the way. Unbelievable. I've never seen a warrior who could defeat an orc army alone. I managed to destroy the orcs' camp at the city gate. The siege of the city is over. I was just curious what my food count was. It'll be 100 soon enough. Alright, now I'm going to click on this to unlock his shop. The siege has cost us great losses. I'll pay you for each good weapon. I'll sell a few of these just for fun. I made a bunch of extras getting my smithing skills up. As you can see in my camp screen, I went ahead and built up a full campfire inventory so you could see what it looks like. And I'm going to make 1 sword here. I'm curious, by the way, 1 more sword gets me an achievement. I'm curious if silver swords count as a sword. Yep. So I got the Sword Maker achievement for making 10 swords. And here is a fire flower and some sulfur is what you use to make 2 fire potions. That's very expensive if you know how much they cost. And now I am a master alchemist because I've gotten my skill up to 100. Poisons, this one gives you 3 poisons and it takes 2 algae and 2 poison mushrooms, so that's actually very expensive ingredients as well. A poison sac, which are very hard to find, gets you 2 poisons as well. A night flower and 2 magic mushrooms gets you 3 magic potions. Healing flowers gets you 3. And there's some variants to this as well. 2 frogs and a poison mushroom gets you some antidotes. And 2 healing berries and a honey flower get you 2 as well. So those are all the different ways you can make things. And here is the final food, goulash. And goulash has a very long animation, but it makes you a whopping 78 food, which is very nice to have. Now, I am also a master cook, having cooked my master dish. I've got my cooking skill up to 100. For anyone that's curious, I believe I mentioned this earlier in the playthrough, but pans, you get 17 uses out of pans no matter what you make with the pan. So that includes the fried egg, the roasted meat, the risole, and the fish with mushroom sauce. Any of those 17 uses will break a pan. With the cauldron, it's just a little bit different. The mushroom soup and the fish soup break the cauldron after 17 uses if you go straight with just those. With goulash, you can only get 12 uses before the cauldron breaks. The goulash is the only one that breaks that ratio. I am not a good enough mathematician to figure out how many quote-unquote points you use in the bigger scale of things, but that is a pretty good idea of how that works. When you are creating potions, you use a mortar, and the mortar breaks after every 25 uses. With the hammer, it is 110 strength. So you see I used 10 there to make that. And my hammer broke. But it looks like the hammer, looks like no matter what you make, well, no, some things are a little bit different. So this one depends on how much strength you use, not uses. All right, let us continue on. We're in Azure Valley Center. We've talked to the commander. We are going to chat with the king. I'm trusted enough now. All right, you can proceed to the castle and visit the king. Hello, Mr. King.
What brings you here, knight? Did you come to have a look at a troubled man? Earthquaker took my only daughter, and soon he will bury everything under the rocks. Nobody came to help me, not even princes. They all fear Earthquaker.
I want to save Princess Amelia. No rock can be so hard that it can't be crushed.
You are brave, but even if you had 100 lives, it wouldn't be enough.
I told the king about my visions. They must have some meaning. Perhaps the visions are the key to defeating Earthquaker.
You know everything Earthquaker does, right? Then there's still hope.
The king is sending me to the monastery in Grey Valley. A monk named Andrew lives there. I've already met him once before. He can advise me how to use my visions to fight Earthquaker.
Go to the monastery in the Grey Valley and find Brother Andrew.
All right. And with that, we are going to stop. The next episode will be our finale, and will feature the post-game content. Thank you very much for watching this with me and for having this journey with me through this really cool game. I look forward to seeing you in the conclusion. I'd love it if you feel like I've earned it, if you'd like the video. If you'd like to see more, there will be another Let's Play after this. Please subscribe, and you will get updates as my videos go live. I also would love to hear your comments, any comments that you might have. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.